to the main road to do that one project you saw in their building.
Yeah.
The kitchen.
Yeah.
Was there yesterday? I did a quick project. We went the rest of the week. So Wednesday doing another project. That brother's moving in his business and there wants me to do another project.
MashaAllah.
I was so happy to find this place. So it was like mango house. It's like I never heard of no mango house.
Yeah.
It's driven by a million times.
I never been here either.
No, see, and then I was like, man, it ain't called the mango house. And then when I realized where it was, I was like, yeah, this isn't called the mango house. But we're gonna keep.
Never been here either.
No, see, and then I was like, man, it ain't called the mango house. And then when I realized, I was like, yeah, this isn't called the mango house. But we're gonna make.
Back in the day, I thought it would have said Mingo House. I was like, I ain't going there. That's his family. Real dangerous. Don't mess around with them. Back in the day, I thought it would have said Mingo House. I was like, I ain't going there. That's his family. Real dangerous. Don't mess around with them. Back in the day, I thought it would have said Mingo House. I was like, I ain't going there. Why is it echoing? It's real dangerous. What's wrong with that? No. Okay. All right. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right? Then inshallah ta'ala, moving forward, we are now getting to Suratul Kaafiroon. Okay, Suratul Kaafiroon, chapter 13. I know that I said chapter 12, but it's actually chapter 13. Now, before we get into it, remember this drill, the more we do these drills, the more we lock this in, the more it's going to become like water, right? And the secret to making the Qur'an like Suratul Fatiha is that you recite the Qur'an like you recite Suratul Fatiha, meaning all the time, right? So again, we say, pointing with one finger to the right, huwa, he, hum, they, anta, you, antum, you all, ana, I, nahnu, we, kitabuhu, kitabuhum, kitabuka, kitabukum, kitabi, kitabuna, hiya, she, kitabuha, fa'ala, he did, fa'alu, they did, fa'alta, you did, fa'altum, you all did, fa'altu, I did, fa'alna, we did, fa'alat, she did, yaf'alu, he is doing, yaf'aluna, they are doing, taf'alu, you are doing, taf'aluna, you all are doing, af'alu, I am doing, naf'alu, we are doing, taf'alu, she is doing. Okay, remember, taf'alu and taf'alu, same exact word, two different meanings and context, right? If I say sta yaf'al, Sa yaf'al, it means, the seen means I'm going to do it soon. If I say sofa yaf'al, it means, or I'm sorry, so say yaf'al is he is going to do it very soon. Sofa yaf'al is he is going to do it in near time, but not as close as seen. Seen is closer, right? And for the command, if I say if'al, do it, if'al, right? Or if I say la taf'al, or if I say plural, if'alu, or I say la taf'alu. This is the command, okay? So this is where we are so far, okay? And we've covered everything in these previous lessons. Looking at this board, now we see the tree. فتح فتحوا فتح فتحت فتحتم فتحت فتحنا فتحت يفتح يفتحون تفتح تفتحون افتحوا نفتح تفتحوا افتح افتحوا لا تفتح لا تفتحوا فاتح is on the scale of fa'il. Fa'il. Fa'il, the doer of an action, is the fa'il. And it is a type of an ism. It's not a verb. The maf'ul, the maftuh, is the thing that was opened, the object of the action. It's on the scale maf'ul. And it is also an ism. And the idea of opening, the verbal idea, the noun that represents the idea of the action of opening is called fathun. Fathul Mecca, right? The Fathul Mecca, the opening of Mecca, right? Fathun, and it is on the scale here of fi'lun. And it is also an ism, even though it's on the scale of fi'l. Okay? So now, any words you know that are on fataha, yaftahu, they will all be on the same exact scale. Darasa, darasu, darasta, darastum, darastu, darasna, darasat. Yadrus. Now, the fatha becomes a dhamma here in this case. So it's not the best example. Let me give a better example. We have a good example of another word would be brain is getting, I want to say something that fataha, yaftahu, it'll be all these words are popping up in my head, and it's all on different scales. Let me see. Let's look at the lesson and see if something will pop up. Yeah, we do. No, this is on a different scale. What are common FI that you guys know right now? Okay, instead of being so difficult, this, okay, this is the ayn of the fi'l mudari. It can become madmum at the dhamma, and many words that you guys know are on this. For example, ضرب ضرب يضرب. Yed rubu. Okay? So here it's the same scale, but the ayn of the fil mudari, it became madmum with the dhamma. It can, okay? This can also change right here. All right? Daraba is not the only way fa'ala. Okay? But you get the idea. The idea now is you will be able to take this scale, and when you learn one word, you can learn all of these words at one time for every single word you learn right now. So now your vocabulary is going to be on steroids. Okay? So now the learning tip that I want to teach you guys is how to make it stick. And the way to make it stick is to use short sentences that are ridiculous, that are shocking, that are foolish statements, that are strange things to say. Okay? Why? It will stick in your head. So, for example, let's use the word jalasa. Is jalasa, jalasa, yajlisu, yajlisu. Okay. Now, how would I get into this? Jalasa, yajlisu, ijlis is the fi'l. Ijlis. And the person sitting is called the jalis on fa'il, a jalis. The sitting, where the sitting is happening, is called a majlis. Okay? Or, yeah, just say majlis. The idea of sitting, jilsa. Jilsatun. How am I going to remember all of this? Easy. I can go from any one of these. Okay? My mom, how do you say my mom in Arabic? Ummi. So I'm going to start using these words, my mom. Ummi. She said, Qala. How do you think you say she said?
Qala.
That's he said.
Oh.
Remember? Fa'ala. Fa'a. 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 That's ana. Fa'a. Let. So, ummi qalat. Okay? Qalat. Qalat. Ummi qalat. I like this because I'm teaching you another word. Yeah. You're learning another word inside of this ridiculous example I'm about to say. What does your mom say to you? Ijlis. Right?
A little bit more than that. But
yeah. I know. You want to find out who's American?
I don't even need to see the rest of it.
What is it?
Sit your butt down before I.
Yeah.
Is that an eye?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It.
Yo,
There you go.
Uh,
Sit your butt down before I beat it, right? You know, so your brain will retain these kind of things. Ummi call it ijlis. So what did you do?
He said,
Fa
oh,
jalastu. Fa jalastu. Fa fa jalastu. Where did you sit? And which one?
Wherever she told me to sit.
Fi majlis an-nisa. You sat in the sitting of a women. Is that good or not good? Not good.
تحتاج إلى إلغاء الجزء التليفون أولاً.
Shut your mouth. I don't know why Siri want to talk all the time. Right? Fi majlis. Fi majlis an-nisa.
Don't change it.
This is why you remember it.
I'd rather say in the gathering of dogs.
You say fi majlis or you can say you sat in the majlis an-nisa jilsat al-qalb, the sitting of a dog. Okay. جلسة القلب. جلسة القلب. Okay. أمي قالت اجلس فجلست في مجلس النساء جلسة القلب. Okay. My mom told me to sit down. So I sat in the sitting of a women, a gathering of women, the sitting of a dog. Like, you know, you're in your house and there's all the women, you know, and you're running around the house and then she said, sit down, right? He's boom. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, just like a dog, you know?
Like this.
Yeah, right? See? Now, this is going to help you because now you'll say, Ummi qalat ijlis, right? Fa jalastu. Fa is so I did. Fa jalastu fi majlis an-nisa. Jilsat al-qalb. The sitting of a dog. And now you guys are paying attention to where I'm putting these fathas and these kasras, and you don't know why I'm doing it. But that's not. Once we get more vocabulary, we'll study grammar. But right now, for the word jalasa yajlisu, ijlis, right? Jalisun, majlisun, jilsa, right? All right. You guys get it? We'll start with the Hand Weird Dictionary from the next class. Okay. So that's the game. All right. Now looking at the Dars, chapter 13, Suratul Kaafiroon. Okay. Suratul Kaafiroon is a very important surah. And it must be understood. It must be understood and implemented for your Islam to be complete. It's fard on us to live Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Okay? It's not enough for us to just say Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. We need to know what is Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun and what is going on inside of this surah. Now, I'm pretty much sure you guys are pretty familiar with the meaning of the surah, right? The good thing is to do when you have a surah like this is to read a book called Tafsir al-Muyassir. It's an easy tafsir. That's what it's called. Tafsir al-Muyassir. Okay? You study the book Tafsir al-Muyassir over these type of ayahs. Why? Because when he explained the ayahs in other words, simple words, you're going to pick up much more vocabulary. Okay? You'll pick up more vocabulary. Like if you pick up Tafsir Sa'di, it ain't that easy. Sa'di is you know what I mean? It's not complicated, but it's not beginner, right? And in my opinion, it's upper intermediate. It's upper intermediate. I think I would probably read Ibn Kathir before I read, really tried to read Ibn Kathir before I really tried to read a Sa'di. Okay. So, and people think, oh, this book is in one small little volume, XYZ. Abu Muawiyah was just informing us that they had put the tafsir into mujalladat. Because if you look at Tafsir Sa'di, it's in real small writing. Well, they put it in regular font and stretched it out. And I think he said it ended up being 6 volumes. So it's almost the size of Ibn Kathir. Okay, mine is a couple volumes. So it's not a small book, you know. Don't beat yourself up, you know. I was doing that for a long time. And I was like, man, this seems a lot longer than it looks, you know, because one page, actually, it have, you know, enough for 3 whole pages of another book or more even. So, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. I'm going to be using simultaneously the board at the same time as I use the book, my Apple, what do you call it? iPad. Thinking in Arabic. iPad. iPad. Right? Okay. Now, a word that's a new word, I'm going to put it in blue. And a word that is not new, I'm going to put it in black. Now, for us, because I only have black markers today, it's all going to be black. Okay. Qul, we already know. Qul, say, it's a command. Qala yaqulu qul. Okay. Qa'il, maqul, and maqala. Qala, yes. Or eqwal. Qul, sorry. I think qul. Qul. Qul, ya ayyuhal kafirun. Now, ya ayyuha. Okay. Ayyuha. Ya ayyuha. Okay. Ya ayyuha. This has the words ya ayyuha in it. Okay. And it means oh, hey, get your attention. Okay. Another way that it is to say ha. Like you'll read it sometimes, ha. Ha means hey. Okay. Ya ayyuha. Ya ayyuha. Ya ayyuhal kafirun. Right? Ayyuhal kafirun. El kafirun comes from what? Kafara, yakfuru, right? Ukfur, kafir, okay? Makfur, and kufr, okay? So we have Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun, okay? El kufar, kafir. Kafir and kufar are synonymous. What are they? Synonymous, okay? They're the same. Kufar and kafirun, okay? Kafirun. Kafirun, okay? Kafirun. In the Quranic text, they don't write it this way. They say, They put the aleph on top of the kaf. See it? Okay. So here in the word Kaafiroon, the aleph is on top of the kaf. Okay. Then we have La a'budu ma ta'budun. Okay. Now here, a'budu means I do not worship. A'budu. Abada ya'budu. Okay. Abada ya'budu. U'bud is the command. U'bud. Okay. The idea is ibadah. Okay. The person who's doing it is the abid. And the person who is being worshipped, or the object that is being worshipped, is the ma'bud. That's why the meaning of La ilaha illallah is La ma'budun bihaqqin illallah. La ma'budun bihaqqin illallah. Okay, there's no ma'bud. So again, abidun, right? La abidu ma ta'budun. And again, ta'budun is on the scale, right? So now let's do the exercise. The more you guys do this, the better off you're going to be. If you literally sit here, every single time you learn a word, the more you do this, the more you learn it. Like you have to find out if you're right or wrong. Don't do stuff the wrong way. Even if you do it wrong though, do it. Make mistakes. Because the best way for you to learn is actually make mistakes. When you take a test, do you remember which questions you got right or which ones you got wrong? What you got wrong? That's what you remember. The mistakes. See what I'm saying? Everything else could have been going fine, but in the salah you made one mistake. Maybe you forgot what you recited in the first rak'ah, but you remember what you did in the second because you made a mistake, right? So mistakes are good because they are good, effective ways to learn. So right? Abada, ya'budu, u'bud. The idea, ibadah. The verbal idea, ibadah. Ibadah. That is an ism. Fi'l, ism. The worshiper is the abid, and that's also a ism. Abid. And the thing that's worshipped is a ma'bud. Ma'budun. And it is also an ism. Okay? Let me do that here. The person who's worshiping, or what is the idea of worship? If someone did worship, if he worshiped, then he abada. If he is worshiping ya'budu. Sorry, my writing is not the best on this iPad. To command someone to worship is u'bud. The idea is ibadah. And that is an ism. I know it's an ism because of what? Because of the tanween, the domaten. That don't go on the field. Anytime you see tanween, two dhammas, two kasras, two fathas, then it is a ism. Ibadah. Now the person doing the worship is called a what? An abid. Sorry. Let me erase that, change the ink. An abid. It's also an ism because we have the dhammatain. Then the thing being worshipped is called a ma'bud. Ma'bud. Budun. Okay, this is a sukun. Ma'bud. Okay. Abada, ya'budu, u'bud, ibada, abid, ma'bud. Now, if I really want to get beefy with it, and I do, because I love learning, then what I'm going to do under abada, I'm going to put abadu, abadu, abetta, abetta. What goes next? What's next? Abed, tum. Then abed, Anna, abed, abed two, abed two. And we, abed, na, abed na. Ya'budu. Make it plural. No, for them. Huwa ya'budu. Ya'budu na, with a noon. Ya'budu. Ya'buduna. Then anta, ta, anta, ta'budu. Ta'budu. Antum. Ta'buduna. Ta'buduna. Ana a'budu. Nahnu na'budu. Okay. Yep. Iyaka na'budu. Right? وما أنتم عابدون ما أعبد. Right? وما عبدتم. Right? I'll get to it. Sorry. I'll get my brain on Friday. Ya'budu. Good is a command. There's only one command. Now, if I say don't do it, or how do I make it plural? All of them worship. How? Or Budu. Or Budu. Now, wow. Now, if I say don't worship, la, no. Anta, la. What? Ana, huwa, hum, anta, antum, ana, nahnu. Where if I say you all, you or you singular, don't worship. There's only one thing that changes. It's la ta'bud. See, this is ta'budu. This becomes la ta'bud. It's a sukun. Now, if I'm telling all of them don't, all of you don't worship, la ta'budu. Yeah, and there's a reason why, but we're not going to study that right now because that is grammar. La ta'budu. La ta'budu. Ibadah, there could be a different, I'm not going to get into this right now. There could be a different masdar, okay? Some words have many different masdars, okay? Many different verbal ideas of the action, okay? An abid is one worshiper is an abid. What do you think plural worshipers are? Abidun. Abidun. Okay. Ma'bud. All right. Ma'bud. Sorry. I messed up here. Ma'bud. Ma'budun. Ma'budun. Okay. The object of what is worshipped. Okay. One word, abada, I learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 words. And I didn't even get deep. I didn't get into the feminine. This is all masculine. Okay, not hating on the ladies. Okay. But it would be easy. Abadat. Ta'budu. Now, when you get to the plural, so the Mudardi, we'll wait until we get to that lesson, okay? But look, all that from one word, okay? All of this from one word, okay? And doing this with every single word, every single time. For the word abada, I wrote everything that I know. I know more, but everything I've taught. I don't say that out of arrogance. Then, ya'budu. Then, for the command, good. Then the idea is called ibadah, and there could be other words for that. And unfortunately, the best way to learn the different types of the masadir is just by reading the books of the Arab. And that's unfortunate. That's good because you can, right? But it's not always obvious. And then the mu'jam, the dictionaries you have, the mu'jam al-wasit will have many, and also the Hanzwir will also have many, okay? Those are the two dictionaries I recommend that you get. Then the Abid and the Abidun, and then the Ma'bud. That's 20 words from one word, right? It's very easy. And it's only easy if you repeat it. I made this I first learned it, so it became what? Rocket science, okay? All it takes is just continuously doing it. Read it, say it, speak it. Why I said that? Read it, say it, listen to it, write it, okay? As much as you can. There we go. Okay? So now here, La a'budu, I do not worship ma ta'budun antum, what you guys worship. Next page. Wala antum abiduna ma a'bud. Okay? What do we have here? Abiduna. Okay? Okay? Antum abiduna ma a'bud. Okay? So we know these words. Wala, we know. Antum, you. Abiduna. Abid, I'm sorry. Abid is here. Abiduna. I'm sorry. Here. Okay? Abiduna. Now, look, in the ayah, what did they do? Same thing again with Kaafiroon, right? They put like this. They put the fatha over the ayn. But when you write it as normal, you write it like this. Abidun. Okay? But what he's saying is what? Changes the meaning a little bit, right? And you are not worshipers. It's not that and you all are not worshiping. Ya'budun. No, it's you all are not abidun. You're not worshipers. Okay?
Incorrect. You're not.
You're not even a worshiper.
You're not worshiping what should be worshipped, therefore you are not.
You're not a worshiper, right? You're not a worshiper of what? Abiduna ma a'bud. Of what I worship. You are not worshipers of what I worship. Why is that important? Who is Allah's messenger talking to when the ayah came down? Who are? The Quraysh. Who did they believe in? Allah. And they said they worshiped Allah. He said, وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. You all are not worshipers of what I am worshiping. That's deep. He's telling you, y'all don't worship Allah. You're not worshiping Allah. These guys are busy trying to tell them we worship Allah. He's telling you, no, you don't worship Allah. Now, it's easier for us to do this with these people across the street. You know, pretty obvious. They start talking about Jesus, right? Or whatever they say, right? That's pretty obvious. But this ayah is even greater because it's saying, and you all are not worshipers of what I am worshiping. I am a Muslim, I worship Allah. I am worshiping Allah, and you all are not worshipers. Okay? So what you're doing is not considered ibadah. It's not ibadah. This is a rad on, they're not doing ibadah, right? Did they believe in Allah? Yes. So now we can't say that ibadah is to do an action for who? Allah. It's not just that. But it has to be done the way Allah wanted it done, and you have to worship him the way he wants you to worship. And that's only the way that the messengers do it. This ayah is telling you follow the sunnah. Okay? If you don't follow the sunnah, you are not, and you're doing an action, calling it worship, and it's other than the sunnah, or you can't, be careful, right? Sheikh Salam taught us 6 different ways to make the tashahhud, 6 different narrations, right? Now, some of us mix a lot of this together. We say that attahiyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibatu, right? Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, I'm sorry, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Then many of us say, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. And my challenge is, because I was taught this before. Show me where in the narration, whose narration it is to say that the tashahhud that way, and that you're supposed to say it with the wahdahu la sharika inside of that narration. It could be in a different narration, but then the wording is different from what it starts with also. Because the hadith of Ibn Mas'ud, radiallahu anhu, he said, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Right? Wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay? Yeah. All right.
You know, I just wonder because a lot of times with the brothers, I hear this a lot with Jaffe and the other brothers of knowledge, all the elders speaking, and they quote this. They're quoting directly from memory of the hadith in the way that the Sahaba radiallahu anhuma were instructed to say it.
Exactly.
Their time and the way we speak it now has to be different just because of the tense of the speech.
No. If we, this is the point. وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. SubhanAllah. If we're not doing what the Prophet was doing, we're not what? Worshipping Allah.
You say, no, for the Shahada, when they the Sahaba, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Sahaba would quote him, he would say, Ashhadu an, and he would say,
Yeah. That's yes. If he says, like, I'm the messenger of Allah, we would say, and he's the messenger of Allah. But if we're quoting the hadith, we're going to say exactly what he said, right? No,
that's why I just wanted to clarify.
Oh, no.
When everyone quotes the hadith,
no.
They quote it exactly.
How.
And many people are like, how we say it?
Oh, there's so many things. That's what's his name? The guy in Libya. Gaddafi, wrote the Green Book. Don't say kul. Just say hu Allahu ahad. It's not correct. Who are you? Allah said kul hu Allahu ahad. You know? All right. Wala antum abiduna ma abud. Wala ana abidun ma abadtum. Look, and I am not a worshiper of what you all worship. I'm not a worshiper of what you all what? Worshipped. Abedtum. Abedtum. I am not a worshiper of what you all worshipped. Okay? So here, look at the word abidun. See, this is what I'm saying, that this chapter is teaching you how to start having fun and using your vocabulary, because now you have abidun, abudu, abidun, right? So instead of abidun, abidun. And you have abedtum. Is that it? Nope. Here, Allah repeats the same thing again. The same exact words. Isn't that deep? وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. Again. Again. Why? The emphasis. Think about it. Allah, when this ayat came down, think of the stubbornness of these people. The messenger told them once, he said, and you are not worshipers of what I am worshiping, and I am not a worshiper of what you all have been worshiping. And I'm going to tell you again, and all of you are not worshipers of what I am worshiping. Stubborn, brother. Really, really stubborn. وَلَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. We know all these words already. We've already studied these words. There's no reason to put them up. Okay? So, just because of the time right now, we'll stop at this point. Let's look together at what goes next after this from grammar, okay? Here we go. What is he doing? Let's just do it now. Might as well. It's literally what I just did here on the board, okay? What is the author of the book trying to do now? He's trying to tell y'all, start practicing these skills, okay? Yeah, playtime is over. You guys are okay for a few weeks, like, who, enter. Now it's getting real, right? Now you have a lot of words. But think about it. The more you do this with Suratul Fatiha, okay? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay? Start there. Be ismi. So ismun comes from a word. What does the word ismun come from? Wasama. It's what wasim comes from, right? Wasama is to distinguish something. Wasama. It means like wasim is not jamil, right? Because the word in English, it translates the same. Some people would say jamil, handsome for a male, and wasim, handsome. It's not handsome. It's a different quality of handsomeness. It's a feature that makes you wasim. That the feature is what makes you distinguished. It's the feature that you become known by. Like me, I'm really ugly, right? Thought you guys were gonna he almost choked on his cough.
Say talk, because I was sitting there like, here we go. This is one we always do. You saw Tom was walking through the grocery store yesterday.
There you go, right? Tall, right?
Little lady.
Yeah.
As soon as she saw me, looked like I might be coming down the aisle.
Yeah. Pointing at tall stuff, you know? Or they say, you play basketball? No, man, I was actually a horse jockey. I wasn't really good at it, though. Horse is bad all the time, but that's what I like to do. I like to ride horse. I like ponies, you know, small ponies, right? Right? But wasim is something that is like really distinguished, okay? Like it's a handsomeness because of the distinguishing. A similar type of word, even though it's not Arabic, but it's from a sister language, Yusuf. Why is it Yusuf? Because wasafa, description, a wasf, sifat. Who had the description of having this type of beauty? Yusuf, alayhi salam. Look at that name. So even though it's not an Arabic name, it's from the sister language, and it still carries, and you can look at this in the other names of the prophets. Lots of stuff like this. It's fun to do. It's hot. You know, some of them said because his mom Sarah said what? فأقبلت امرأته في سارة فسقت وجهها وقالت عجوز عقيم. قالوا كذلك قال ربك. Right? So she said, it's not true. How could I be when I'm old and I'm barren? I can't have kids. The angel said, that's the way the command of your Lord is. Boom, she was pregnant. She's pregnant. So she said, what? It's not true. It's not haq. No, it's haq. It's haq. Right? This is the way some of the Mufassirin, they say, you know, like his name, right? So again, playing with the word Bismillah, Allah. What does Allah come from? Right? Break down the scale. That will help you to know who is Allah. Right? وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Right? Allah taught Adam the names of everything. Look, there's a lot that goes into the description of a thing and the naming of it. So learning words is extremely important. And there's a lot that goes into it. You want to know about Allah? Look at his names. Right? And he doesn't give you that. He gives you Ar-Rahman. Right? What does Rahman come from? Yeah, from the same exact word as what? Rahim. But they're different. Right? I don't know. Somebody raised their hand. I think somebody's raising their hand. Hold on a second. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't record this whole thing, but I'll try to do it next time. Does ma also mean water? No. Ma. Ma. So someone asked a question. Does ma, try to do it next time, also mean water? Does ma also mean water? Ma. With the hamza means water. Ma. Does ma does not mean water. Then the next question. In what way did the Quraysh worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala different than the way that they worship the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Tell them to. Because they made intermediaries with Allah. They assign qualities to Allah that are not befitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They said, we aren't good enough and our worship is not pure enough. So they would go to saints, even to this day, like Sufis. They go to saints and people who they think are the awliya, and they tell them to do acts of worship for them so they will be accepted, right? So there's many things, yani. They did not, first and foremost, we look at the areas of Tawheed, okay? And some said that Tawheed is broken into 4, and I'm not talking about Hakimiyya. That's a whole different sect or group. I'm talking about from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Some of them said, Wujud Allah. Then rububiyyatihi, then uluhiyyatihi wa asma'i sifat, right? So if we look at it from that aspect, they first had to believe in the existence of Allah. That's first, right? They did that. The rububiyyah, right? If in Allah said in the Quran, if you were to ask him who created the heavens and the earth, right, to the end, yeah, They'll say Allah. So they had a rububiyyah, okay? But what they did not do, they did not worship Allah, right? They did not worship Allah. And the other part is the asma wa sifat of Allah, the names and the attributes and the qualities of Allah, right? Like when Ar-Rahman, they didn't have this name. They asked, who's Ar-Rahman, right? So Allah taught them through the Messenger of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Allah by itself means the one who has the right, the one who is worshipped and served in truth. That's the meaning of the name Allah. The one, right? Allah, right? So they already, when they had Lat wal Uzza and all of these other shayateen that they used to worship, these idols, right? They used to use the idols as intermediaries and other types of shirk that they would do. And their worship was not based upon what Allah wanted. They would legislate how a person can make Hajj until you had some people who had to make Hajj butt naked, women and men, walking naked around the Kaaba. And this is normal sight, you know? Imagine, go to Mecca and you find this happening today, you know? I know we feel like we're maybe in the times that that's about to happen again. A'udhu billah. You know, you got naked people, you know, in a concert, you know, not too far away from, you know, the Memlaka, from Mecca. But, you know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give steadfastness and increase in good for all of the Muslim rulers and guide them all, right? This is not trying to get on a pedestal and do all of this talk now, get political. But in general, that's the answer now. So we have here the work. For every word, do the work. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Alhamdu. Alhamdu. Alhamdu is a word. It has a meaning. And, hold on a second. Alhamdu has a meaning. So looking at the scale, right? Hamida Yahmad, Yahmadu, Hamida Yahmadu, Ihmed, Hamd, Hamid, Mahmoud, okay? Going through the scale this way, okay? Going through all the words, right? How do you tell somebody to praise? How do you tell somebody don't praise? How do you tell a group of people to praise, right? So this is the work here, all right? So he's doing this for the word Nasara, Yansuru, Khalaqa, Yakhluqu. Next page. Razaqa, Yarzuqu. Zakara, Yadhkuru. All of these are on Fa'ala, Yaf'ulu, Uf'ul, Fi'lun. Whatever the fi'l is, the fa'il, the dhakir, and the madhkur, the maf'ul, the mansur, the marzuq, the raziq, the raziqun. Okay? A female, raziqa, raziqat. You know, there's 22 words now, right? And it keeps going on. Okay? Tadhkuru, all of this, right? So we have 2 pages. Try to memorize these, use these, and make funny sentences, as many as you can. But add words that you want to know that you will commonly use, right? Don't use words that you will not know, like chalice.
Yeah.
Say cup, okay? You know, you'd be like, but you know, chalice is even more like, okay, when are you gonna say chalice, man? All right, like, yeah, chalice might be more outrageous to you, right? But cup is gonna be more common. So which one do you wanna learn first? The word you're gonna use all the time or the word you ain't never gonna use, you know? Receptacle, you know? Trash can, you know? Yeah.
Like a receptacle, and I'm like, receptacle for me. I'm sitting here thinking.
For you, carpentry terms, car terms, lawyaki, I'm telling you, for your job, you know, use common terms. So now you're using these words while you're at your job, right? Like he needed help. Your dad needed help, with the detailing. How are you gonna say that, right? You come up with it, and then something outrageous happened. The car, you remembered the car, right? Because Dakara is there. You remembered the car too, right? And the sayarata, it was suspended, right? So then, the car fell and it broke. You're going to say that in Arabic, right? And then you told the guy you went to the guy who's supposed to be paying you the money. He's what? He told you he's not going to pay you, right? But you told him, Khalas, Aki, Allahu razik, right? Don't worry about it. I'm going to get my money. You know what I mean? Like, look, you broke my car. Okay, Allahu razik. You're going to pay me for my job, Yeah, so, use these words and use them in sentences and add other words to it and write them down in a notebook as like episodes. And then you can build on them as much as you can. You might only start off with a couple sentences, right? But then you'll keep adding on episodes where you're using all these different words and gathering up all this vocabulary. And what you'll be doing is keeping the scale of the word in your mind. Okay? Like, because it's khalaqa yakhluqu, right? So you're going to use something that's going to say like yakhluqu, because that's maybe the part. It's like, is it yaf'ulu or is it yaf'alu or is it yaf'ilu? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is the end of the dars. Anything that I said that is corrected from Allah and His Messenger, and anything that I said is not corrected from myself or shaitan, and Allah and His Messenger are free from it. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Inshallah, I'm going to post the homework pages in the forum tonight, inshallah. And if you're on Facebook, I'll post them in the comment section of this. You can complete it, send it to me, follow the durus. And if you want to join the WhatsApp group, send me a Facebook message, and I'll put you in the WhatsApp group for the durus of Masjid Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, here in Aurora, Colorado. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.